morning all, it's the goateed sloth here, welcoming you to Slow Hands Fast Cars. We're not in a rush, but we will get faster. So I'm doing this video. I've got a couple of other little videos I'm going to whack on the end of this one. It's going to take a while, but we'll get there. I'm just going to cover my first steps I've done with the, I'll get the right hand one day, one of the second-hand cars that I've got, the second-hand Traxxas, outlining what I've done and why I've done them, also outlining why I'm scared of touching stuff, because I have never done anything like this. So it's all pretty new, learning a lot of stuff, trying a lot of new things, not sure how I want to do things, so just sort of fumbling my way through. And hopefully that'll give new drivers, new people into the hobby a bit of confidence to just rip in and have a go. Okay, so this will lead into my video that was all about buying second-hand cars and how to start and all the rest of it, just to give you an idea of what you can expect when you do get some second-hand stuff. Now, this is one that I've got. I did a video about surprising my boy with it. It's not great, okay? Not great at all. Learned a lot of stuff though. However, I have ordered another one, so I've paid for it. Probably take about 3 to 4 weeks to get here like this one did. Pretty much just a stock standard Traxxas Slash, which will be great. So that'll be a good comparison one. Trying to get hold of a few other bits and pieces to, like chassis and parts to just assemble one and see how we go. We'll get into them all a lot later. So these videos coming up, please excuse the quality of the videos. You'll see just behind me, here, I do have a lamp now, which is making a massive difference. I go into that in one of these clips that are coming up. So I can start working on doing better videos, and I can start showing a little bit more of how I'm doing stuff to help with the newcomers, because I don't have a clue. Okay, lots of cleaning up to do. I've got to really rearrange the office, so the boy and I have set that as our goal for this weekend, because it looks like it's going to be raining. We're hoping to have this thing up and running by the weekend. I did the back end. He's now started on the front end. So the back end was a little bit more complicated. I'm getting him to get involved on the front end. He started cleaning the shocks and stuff like that. So step by step, he really wants to use the rotary tool. So we'll get to that. So yeah, please enjoy these videos. I hope you get something out of it. I hope as newcomers you can see that it's intimidating. But if you just have a crack, take your time. You're going to learn so much about this. Alright, so here come the videos. I'll sign off for now. Please enjoy them. Let me know in the comments if you'd like something done a little bit more closer to detail, and I can see what I can figure out there. But in the meantime, this is the Goatee Sloth reminding you, take it easy on the trigger, send it on the straights, and remember, even a sloth can go full throttle. Not sure if the audio will work well, but I don't even know if the video will work well. Here we go, we're starting on the car. I've got to balance it out, so I've got to take these tyres out. You can see I've pretty much got most of the back done. Not happy about this. I don't know why, this arm isn't coming up the full way. It's really bad in my opinion. And I don't know why they're not dropping back down, because they've got no suspension on them. That tells me that they're binding here somewhere, probably with some dust and things. So I'm going to have to brave it and take these apart, which I didn't want to do, but beggars can't be choosers. Just trying to clean up a section at a time, then put it all back together, then do another section, because I just don't know what I'm doing. The shock's pretty nice. I got them nicely and cleaned up. Still a bit of grit there. I can't do much about that right now. I don't have enough tools to sort that, but at least it's smoother. Okay. You'll notice wear patterns here. These shocks are too big for this chassis. Fronts are okay, the rears aren't. I do have some spares there. I don't know if I'm going to make them fit. I'm going to put everything back on later, but that will be an area of concern. Ignore the mess. I'm just trying to figure out a way to make this into a decent workspace. I'm a bit scared. I don't want to get too far ahead, because like I've taken things off like the pinion drive and stuff, and I want to make sure I can put everything back together, and so I don't want to get too far ahead. Biggest concern, I'm really not happy with this. This is the ECS. It's from a 1/18th frickin' car. It's 40 amp. I don't know how it's even working and not blowing itself up. The fan is noisy. I'm trying to fix that. He just had it mounted here because the Traxxas mounting system
has two wings here, and these are flat with the mounting plates for the screws, so the ECSs that Traxxas supply fit nicely in here, and they screw on there and they rest on there. It's a great little system. But for a small thing like this that can't even sit over the top of them, he's put way too much double-sided tape on there, which is now filthy and can't do a thing. And then he did a Frankenstein conversion of ties and screws to like wedge it in. I wasn't going to have that, so I've bought some sheets of Perspex, 2mm Perspex from the local hobby store, $2 each, like 2mm, nice and firm. I'm going to cut a piece out to fit pretty much this square, and it will sit flat across these. I'll screw in two ends, and that'll give me plenty of flat surface to then glue slash tape this onto there. Not only will that be a cleaner and way more efficient option, the dirt won't get in underneath, which will be great, and well, not as easily. And then if I need to remove it, I only have to remove two screws, lift the thing up, move on. So I'm going to do that one as well, but that's the goal today, is to get that done. The receiver looks good. I'm not going to muck around with that too much. I do have my GT3C one I want to put in, but we'll do that later. But for now, today's job, let's make these work, because that is disgusting. And I've got to clean out this whole area here. I'll probably try to get this section done, and then I'm going to work on that section. I'll just show you the motor, because I'm pretty happy about how I clean this one up. She's nice and clean, good old brake cleaner, pretty much just a small amount on a cloth, a microfiber cloth, clean that up nicely. I then used some silicone spray, threw it in the holes, and just rotated the engine around, and man, that is nice and smooth now. Could be better, but it's a lot smoother than what it was. It's not grinding anymore. Nice, like that. So the goal today, let's get these working a little bit better. Let's try and mount this back on there, clean this section up, put this section back together, and take a break for a while, because I tell you what, it's amazing what you can learn when you just take your time and have a go and just be careful of what you're doing. So I've cleaned this whole arm off now. Most of the thing, I've greased it up. It sounds smooth, it feels smoother, it sounds better. It's still not great, there's still a lot I've got to do here, but it's way better. Now, I think I've figured out how this binds. See, it gets to there and stops, but it will go further. The problem is, I'll use this side as the example. See how this one goes up nicely? This section here, that the pin goes through for the suspension arm and screws into this side. Oh, sorry, from this side into there. I reckon that's the wrong way around. I reckon I've got to turn that around, if I'm brutally honest. But anyway, connects, it catches on the pivot part there. So this side is catching on it, and I've tested that by putting a light behind it, and I can definitely see it's on this end here. Now, this is why I've got the Dremel. And I can actually see it's offline. Like, you can see there's a big, I don't know why it would have done that. I'm not sure if he's replaced parts there or anything, the guy got it off. But we can probably sort that out. For now though, I'm not going to worry too much. I can see why it's doing it. I would still like it to drop down, but beggars can't be choosers, one step at a time, hey folks. But there's the problem. Something I have learnt, when you're trying to get your tool under the chassis to take this screw out, so this one here, okay, it's a double thread, so it's got a bit of thread at the end, bit of thread at the start, and a nice smooth bit in the middle. Once you get it started, it won't continue coming because it's got nothing to grip, and you can't get your fat hands in there to do it. So, simple leverage solution, get yourself some needle pliers, just put it in there, you just don't even hold it, you're just levering it against the side, and then you unscrew it and it just pops straight out, no problem at all. Alright, so a little bit of a tip that I've just found. So, but that is definitely why that's binding. Alright, now that I know that, I think I can fix it. I also believe he'd done the screws up way too tight, and there is a fair bit of cleaning here I've got to sort out, but I don't think he's also done the arms up. This one's too big, I can't do that. Done them up tight enough here, and he's put this one in what I reckon the opposite direction. So I'm going to have to get the Traxxas manual down. I already have, but sit there, now that I've had a look at it and play, I know I might actually know what they're trying to tell me. So next step, this arm. Okay, starting to get a little bit excited now. I'm actually really enjoying this. So we know what the problem is with that one. So that's the binding issue, which I can sort out now, but I'm not going to do it now because I'm trying to get stuff done. This, a lot smoother. It doesn't drop down on its own, but a lot smoother now. Look at that. See, just a touch and it starts falling. So with the shocks on, I do think this is on too tight. It does look like it bends a little bit, so I do need to sort that out a bit, but way smoother. This thing is dynamite. I love this thing. So I've started on the mount. I'm just getting the old glue off. Good little tip for people: get yourself Bunnings, diggers, isopropyl alcohol and a sprayer. Get yourself a thing. You put it in the thing, squeeze it onto it. That's enough, right? I found with this double-sided tape, you need to sort of like soak it first. Just go over it nice and gentle. Soak it first. All right, give it a little bit of a break once you've soaked it. Come back, put some pressure on it. Now I've got to do a little bit more work on that, so I'm thinking I might just rip that off and then we'll see where we're standing. And then I've got to get onto the fan. But that's pretty much where I'm going to stop today, I think, once I've got them going. Maybe have a chance later this afternoon. It is Mother's Day, so I've got to do some stuff for my other half, and I've got to go see my mother. I've got mowing to do and a whole pile of other stuff. So today, if I could get this done, I'd be pretty stoked, and then I pretty much will leave it. I've now figured out how I'm going to clean everything else out effectively. I've got some simple green over there, but I'm not too keen on using that on the chassis. I'm using that mainly for the tyres, but I can water that down and maybe get some of this stuff out. Although the brake cleaner is doing great. It's just like a very high alcohol concentrated stuff that disappears very quickly. So I'll give that a little bit of a sit. This is brilliant with the nylon brush. Get yourself a rotary tool with one of these. It really cleans things up nice. Like you can tell the small section I've used on over here is just sparkling. I used the metal version on the thread of the wheel nut because the guy had loaded up a lot of Loctite on them. And so that got rid of a bit of that. So if you just equal it out, get some brake cleaner on there, and yeah, it eventually peels off. So I'll probably reapply that, not as much though. So we're getting there. We're getting there very slowly. We'll see. Okay, so let's see if this will work. As you can see, there's some more light here now. I've got myself a lamp, which is great because I needed light to work on, and I'm hoping it's going to make the GoPro Hero 3 actually show it up a little bit better. Okay, so I've just hooked it all up with the battery. I should take the battery out. I don't know if this is going to work very well. Probably not because it's a bit tight, but there we go. I'll take that out. I'll put that over there. I'll sort that out in a second. So I just had that in so I could test it to make sure I had the pinion gear installed correctly. It seems to be alright. I probably should check it to see if I'm stripping the spur gear, but well, hopefully I've done it. Okay, so I've finished cleaning up the back end completely now. Okay, looks nice. Everything seems to be installed. I do have 2 spare screws here that I don't know where they came from. That'll teach me to not be organised, but I think they were from the wheelie bar when I put that together, because they don't look like they're in the Traxxas manual, so I think he's put them in later. There's a few of these that have stripped in the actual spots in this bumper. I think they'll be fine. If anything happens, I'll super glue the mongrels in because I don't really care at this point. Still got to do a little bit of cleaning back here up the top parts especially, but not overly concerned. Happy with how this came out in the end. Clean this right up. I think the fan is just about knackered. I'm going to have to deal with it for now. It's noisy, it's embarrassing, it is what it is. I've still got to work on all this section, but I got this out, cleaned out the section, and removed all the wiring and stuff that was there, all the ties and that were there, and have simplified this. A little bit of perspex or acrylic, 2mm acrylic, cut to the size of the bay, 2 screws in the mounting screws for the Traxxas equipment, and simple double-sided tape on the top. Just as a little tip, double-sided tape will actually go into grooves when it's set, alright? So I'm just going to kind of leave it there. I'm not going to muck around with it too much, but I took a little little bloody scrape type thing, and I roughed the hell out of it. Got some real good gouges in there. It's just a case of friction, more surface area, more friction. So that should, over the next day, kind of meld that on there nice and easily. The whole point is now I can take 2 screws off, bang, that's out of there. So nice and simple if I need to get under there for whatever reason. I think that'll work. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot better. Not overly happy with the fan. I should have left that in so I could turn this on. It does rattle quite a lot even after lubrication, so maybe that's just knackered. Look, I can't do much about it right now. It's going to be noisy, pretty embarrassing, but it is what it is. There's also a nasty little noise coming from the diff. Now, that's one area I don't want to go into yet. I'm scared. Don't know what I'm doing there. I think I've done enough new stuff for now. I just want to get this cleaned and ready for running. So from here, it's just a case of clean this up a little bit. There's a lot of dust around the servo, a lot of stuff. I don't want to take that off because that's another area I'm really not familiar with. So I'm just going to clean that off with some cotton buds and rubbing alcohols or whatever the hell I've got here. I'll probably take this off. I do need to take this off to be able to mount the transponder somewhere. Looks like there's a couple of really cool spots here that actually fit the Milapse RC4 holder, but I don't have any screws that can go in there, so not sure on that. But otherwise I can just Velcro it maybe in here, which is still pretty close, but it will be out of the way of a lot more stuff. And then that way I can remove it if I need to for cleaning and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. I might just Velcro it there into the corner. Nice, it's probably the lowest point I can get it on the chassis, as far to the front, but I do like that idea if I can make that work in the future. So yeah, and apart from that, I'm just going to clean up the front suspension. There's not much I can really do there. It is pretty dirty. I'll probably take the front bumper off and get to all the bits and pieces, give it a good scrub, clean the shocks off, lube everything up a little bit, and that'll be it. Then we can start running this thing, I reckon, because everything's starting to come along. I still got to clean the tyres up and give them a bit of a once over, but all in all, pretty good. So let's see how the video quality came out with the light, and it's definitely a lot easier to work with. I can actually see what I'm doing. When you're blind and old, it makes a big difference. So yeah, so one step at a time, eh, folks? See how we go.